This isn't your average podcast.
We threw like a spontaneous party out of nowhere. It was crazy.
This is Full Send.
Drake weekend in Toronto, that's like, imagine telling me that like 10 years ago. That's yo, you're going to rip with Drake for his album launch release party in Toronto. Like, I'm not passing that up for anything.
Join the party.
She went to Met Gala. He went to the game.
What is the Met Gala?
Ridiculous.
I think it's an excuse to dress up like an idiot and go to a ball.
The Full Send Podcast.
Oh, we're ready.
Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
This Jocks 94.5 podcast is brought to you by Millennium Satellite and Video. Log on to msbnow.com. TV excellence everywhere. That's Millennium. McElroy and Cubelic in the morning starts now.
7:20 here on McElroy and Cubelic in the morning. Damian Mitchell, Conrad Van Order, John Saber holding it down for the guys. He joins us each and every Monday at this time, courtesy of our friends at Craneworks. It's the one and only Paul Finebaum.
Lift it, load it, grade it, grind it, move it, haul it, rig it, dig it, Craneworks, Rentalworks, yeah! The big dog's got it.
Paul Finebaum on Mac and Cube in the morning is brought to you by Craneworks. Lift it, buy it, rent it, the big dog's got it. Now, Paul Finebaum.
Paul, we appreciate you hopping on with us this morning. We start off this show this morning talking about the Florida Gators, and it seems as though they're gaining a lot of momentum here in the offseason under John Sumrall. And just kind of your 1,000-foot view, what is your expectations for Florida going into 2026?
I think it begins with them winning the coaching sweepstakes. Sumrall clearly of the non-Lane Kiffin coaches was the biggest catch. He has made a tremendous impact. So I think there's a lot of confidence because of that. And then you just start trying to think in your own head, like, shouldn't Florida be better than it has been under Billy Napier? And the answer is yes. So I think there's a little bit of that fuel that goes into it. I think that second game, though, the third game is really important, though, because Florida goes to Auburn, and everybody knows the critical aspect of the coaching hires. Everyone knows Sumrall was coveted by Auburn, and it only took John Cohn blowing that hire from Auburn, getting the guy that they really wanted. And they ended up with Goish, and I think people are happy now. But I think that game's really important for both coaches, just to show their own fan bases. So how that game goes, I think, will help dictate which way Florida goes.
Paul, listening to your show the last couple of weeks, I know you've had some guests on. You've had some good conversations about Alabama and the way that recruiting is going for them right now. And, it's early on. It's still in June, and you don't win anything in June. But are you buying into maybe this new philosophy from Kalen DeBoer and his staff of we're not going to get a lot of guys, we're going to try to retain the talent that we've already built up over the last couple of years? Or do you think that philosophy might ultimately come back to bite Kalen DeBoer in Alabama this season?
Well, it's certainly a questionable philosophy in today's world of, go out and reload your roster every year like Kiffin has and others. So, I don't think you could say it's proven correct yet. This is the ultimate test. And what he's done is he's gambled, especially on two quarterbacks. And if anybody out there knows, which one is the definite starter, I think we all know which one it has the most upside. That will tell you what this Alabama season is going to be about. And, I find DeBoer trying to sell that philosophy a little too much for me. And I think it's weird when you see, you know it's going to be a small roster. He's told us that constantly. And then you see commitments from, 4 stars, and you go, is that really where Alabama should be? And I know we get a little spoiled or have been spoiled for 17 years, but tell me in 2010 or 2009 or anywhere during that run, if Alabama got picked up a 4-star wide receiver, would there be wild rejoicing in the state of Alabama?
Paul, we're looking forward to SEC Media Days here in a couple weeks. Just kind of your thoughts on which SEC coach has to do the quote-unquote best sales job there at SEC Media Days to kind of get their fans behind them as we get into the 2026 season.
Well, I think Tennessee's in a really interesting spot because there has been probably more angst about that program than there has been in a while. Now, every time you mention this, guys, you're going to hear a veteran Tennessee observer say, well, hey, you realize the situation that Josh Heupel took over. Well, we all do, okay? I mean, everybody was alive on that cold January day when they escorted Jeremy Pruitt off. He has done a good job, but Tennessee fans, like Alabama fans, aren't thrilled with saying, well, I think Tennessee could win 8 or 9 games. They expect more, so I think he has a lot to prove. Listen, let me end the suspense. The most intrigue is going to be over one person, and that's Lane Kiffin, and it's primarily because he has been either out of the country, out of the universe, or out of sight for the most part in the last 2 months. After the absolute debacle of that Vanity Fair article, he went underground. He tried an apology tour, which failed. And I was in Destin for 3 days, and I'm still not sure I caught eyes on him more than about 6 minutes when he met with the media and sounded like it was AI generated. So, yeah, he's going to be pretty eagerly anticipated as well.
Well, that's perfect lead into my question, Paul, because I did want to ask you about LSU. So I remember last year in Atlanta, LSU was kind of that team that just talking to the other media people and the people that cover LSU and other programs, LSU kind of gained a lot of traction, it felt like, at media days. A lot of people buying into what they thought was going to be a big year for LSU. Obviously, it was not. So my question for you, Paul, where do you think the media will vote LSU? Would they be maybe that third team after Texas and Georgia, or are people going to be a little cautious giving Lane Kiffin too much credit in year one?
I think there's going to be a lot of buy-in. I think there'll be 3 or 4 with A&M or Ole Miss, depending on how people view it, because I think people have built it into their head that LSU has to be good. It has to be good because Lane Kiffin's there. They spent all the money, all the attention. And it has to be good because of the roster. But you're gambling on evaluations of other people trying to determine whether that roster is really top-notch. A year ago, Brian, I remember sitting with Brian Kelly, and the conversation wasn't about anything other than Clemson. Remember, they had lost all those opening games. And I think we all bought way too much into LSU when they beat Clemson on Labor Day weekend, and then didn't do another thing the rest of the year. We forgot that Dabo Swinney was still coaching Clemson, and that program has become mediocre. This will be a little bit different, but I still think the LSU game, the LSU opener is probably trickier than maybe people think, only because there's so much unknown from both schools. And I think their schedule is not their friend. I mean, that is a ridiculously tough schedule. Could they go 3-0 in the big games, meaning Clemson, Ole Miss, and A&M in September? They could. You could also argue they could go 1-2.
Yeah, that is true. Here, talking with Paul Finebaum of the SEC Network, also here on WJOX from 2 to 6, the host of the Paul Finebaum Show. And speaking of Lane Kiffin, how about the team that he just left in Ole Miss? Again, Ole Miss was one of 4 teams left for a chance to play in the national championship in the college football playoff. Just what do you think about Pete Golden finally taking over for a full season in 2026? And you're returning Kejuan Lacey, Trinidad Chambliss, but you do lose a lot on that defensive side. Just what are your expectations for Ole Miss in this season?
He easily has 2 of the biggest stars in the SEC coming back that you mentioned. But what he doesn't have is the same coaching staff. And I don't know who has been hurt more by losing Lane Kiffin as head coach and Charlie Weiss as offensive coordinator. And you also, you retain your defensive coordinator. But I ask this to you in the audience: who would you rather have as your defensive coordinator, Blake Baker or Pete Golding? So I think there is a tremendous loss on the coaching side of it. The players are good. Are we putting too much attention on the star players? I'm probably not buying as much in on Ole Miss as others. To me, they just don't look like a playoff team. I thought they caught lightning in a bottle last year. There's only one reason why they beat Georgia at the Sugar Bowl, and it had nothing to do with Ole Miss. It had everything to do with Mike Bobo, who made the dumbest call of the year and allowed Ole Miss to get back into that game.
Paul, I wanted to ask you about the Protect College Sports Act, because I know that's been everybody's favorite topic, and it's so much fun to talk about legal matters here in the summer months. But are you surprised? I know we still have a long ways to go before that actually comes to fruition as a bill, but are you surprised maybe by some of the momentum that it does seem to have picked up, that it's still kind of carrying as strongly as it is right now?
No, I mean, if you look at it from this bill, has some important people behind it. It does. And we all know who it doesn't have behind it. But I think what's important in this body is not who is endorsing it, whether Charlie Baker is issuing a statement or whether Major League Baseball is saying what they have said. It's do they have the vote? And that is critical. They need 60 votes. And I thought it was fascinating the other day when Tuberville came out against it. He was a vote you would have thought would have been there, since he has probably been the loudest voice in Washington for 6 or 7 years about college football reform. I think there's only one person that can get this through, and that is very likely the President of the United States. If he decides at some point to really begin lobbying, then I think it has a shot. Without his support, and you don't know what you're going to get with him. I know he's endorsed it. He had the conference, but let's be honest, he's got a few other things on his plate right now.
That is absolutely that's definitely true. Paul, we appreciate you hopping on with us. We know we had the second string in, Cole and Greg being out. We appreciate you hopping on with us this morning. We'll talk to you next week.
By the way, guys, I didn't notice the drop off. So thanks for having me on.
Thank you,
we
Paul.
appreciate that. Paul Finebaum, host of the Paul Finebaum Show, which you can see on SEC Network and you hear right here on Jocks from 2 to 6. He's brought to us by our friends at Crane Works on the Higginbotham Hotline. You deserve solutions that are built for you. Higginbotham is your one-source solution for insurance, financial, and HR services. We'll recap some of the things that Paul has said. Also get a chance to hear from you, 205-834-9450. The text line, phone line's always open. Keep it locked right here on Mac and Cube in the morning.
Go inside Jocks 94.5 on Jocks TV. Morning Jocks, Mac and Cube, and three-man front video simulcasts are presented by Bill Smith Buick GMC and Game Day Men's Health. Watch on the Jocks mobile app and YouTube by searching Jocks 94.5 TV.
One Night with Steiny.
One Night with Steiny. Shout out Full Send now.
Hey, bro, what's your name, bro?
Steiny. What the hell? We've been sitting here for like an hour together.
I don't know your name. What's your name, bro?
Steiny. I can't guarantee anything. All I can guarantee is that you're going to be entertained. I'm a professional. I'm here to interview.
So the whole interview, you can ask me what I like better, Burger King or McDonald's.
All right, and we are going to wrap up on that note. Thank you, Steve, so much. That was amazing.
Burger King.
One Night with Steiny. One Night with Steiny, baby. Let's go.
One Night with Steiny. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.